we are on. It's Ringside Report MMA coming up tonight. UFC Vegas 62, Araujo versus Grasso. Big fights added for UFC 282. And slap fighting. What is slap fighting?
Let's go!
Yeah. I think, AJ, I think we're finally on.
Thank you, Metaverse gods. Thank you.
Whew. Thank you, Zuckerberg.
Freaking hell. Thank you, Zuck. Man, that was the craziest intro. At one point when we started, people couldn't, obviously you couldn't see on the listener's end, but I was looking at Dave and I'm like, why is Dave so silent? He looks like a poster. You weren't saying anything. And then I saw like your nose moving and I'm like, dude, are you okay, man? Something's bad happening. That was funny, man. What a way to get into like new technology, dude.
Well, sometimes things happen. You know, it's fancy stuff that we're doing. We don't have a gigantic team working for us, and we have the best.
You got to give credit to the production team. You got to give him a little bit of a clap there.
Yeah,
you know?
He made it happen tonight. Thank you for making it happen tonight. We love you. We appreciate you, and we're on now. So that's really good. Thank you.
Well, listen,
you never know what's going to happen. You know, sometimes there's a glitch, and you don't know what it is. And then you got to work to figure it out. Sometimes you start the show, and it's like, oh, that didn't work. Let's try to puzzle that together, you know. And it only took about 30 minutes, and we're on now. So what's the big deal?
Man. Remember what I said, man?
It's YouTube.
Shit happens.
Most people that watch this show don't watch it live anyways. They watch it after the fact. So
no. You want people
to
watch the show live, dude, so that they can comment. They can tell us, like, you know, we're great, we suck, whatever, man. But listen, man, shit happens, man. You know what they say in Jamaica, Dave?
Stop swearing.
You know what they say in Jamaica?
Filthy mouth.
Irie, man. Irie.
I don't think you know what that means.
It's okay. I don't need to. All I know is my Jamaican friends always say, Irie, Anthony. Irie, my friend. And I'm like, Irie to you too, bud. You know what? Chill. And listen, man.
I hope you have the luck of the Irie with you. What?
Well, I got the luck of Connor in backing me here.
Yeah, the luck of the Irie.
The luck of the Irie, man. Some Jamaican blunt. Or bat, as they call it. Listen, I was going to say something. It ties in perfectly for like what's been going on like as of today. And you know what? AJ called it. And I was waiting to text you all day, and I got trapped in something, trapped into another thing. And I'm like, listen, who the fuck said it on the last shows that AJ was finally right? I said on the show, Zuck is not there for no reason. He's there because they're going to do something in business. Zuck is there, and I said, watch some crazy thing happen with this metaverse, with virtual fighting, and people are going to be able to watch it on Facebook Live. I called that shit, man. I called that shit, and it came true.
What happened?
Well, Zuckerberg and Dana White and the UFC are partnering up.
I didn't hear this story. You're catching me off guard. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you kidding me, man?
No.
Isn't that on our itinerary for tonight?
No, slap fighting is on the itinerary, my friend.
I don't care about dick slap fighting, man. This is more
important.
You do.
This is. You want to see slap fighting? It's good.
Well, I see. Listen,
when I tell you about it, when I tell you about what it is and why we're talking about it, you're gonna like it. All right, take it easy.
Well, listen, I seen some slap fighting in Russia. I don't know if it's the same thing. Like
same thing.
What you're gonna talk.
Yeah,
is
basically.
It?
Yeah,
that's insane, dude.
It's
I mean,
coming.
I would like to try.
It's coming. Well, now is your chance. Dana White is looking for you, AJ. Yeah. He put out an open call saying, hey, if you want to slap fight, come and slap fight for Dana White. Here's an email address. Let's see if I can find Dana's post about that.
Well, maybe it can happen, dude. Maybe this is our, our claim to fame, man. If it gets us ratings, AJ's going to do it, man. I'll get slapped and knocked out, but I'll be wearing ringsidereport.net t-shirt when I'm going down.
I think I can show you.
Listen, I can't believe you're joking that you don't know about the big Zuck thing.
Tell me about it.
So, okay, here, let me get you, like, I got all kinds of stuff here. I thought, I was so sure that was on the menu for tonight.
Give me information. Don't read things.
Basically, UFC partners with Zuckerberg, Meta to stream live MMA events through virtual reality, on the metaverse. So basically, this is what happens.
You don't know what that means.
Dude, I do know what it means. I do know what it means, and I'm telling you, I want us to be a part of that. I want our show to be like on the Metaverse Facebook Ringside Report podium team, because we get to talk with anybody that's there fans that are part of the metaverse, and we're going to be like actually there, able to see other fans, able to interact with them, and we could be the not the Dana White. Let me reverse that. The Joe Rogan of like the metaverse, man. Screw them. We'll do it.
I don't really understand how that would work, and I don't think you do either.
I do, but I'm telling you, man. Listen. So basically, this is how it's going to work. You just need $1,500 to get this new headset, which was launched like this week. And basically, with this,
I need to spend $1,500 on a headset, probably U.S. too. I need to buy a $1,500 American dollar headset for virtual reality to watch UFC in a special way.
Actually, it's not going to be the UFC right now. They're going to start their first.
Not even
project.
UFC.
No, it is going to be UFC. Wait. They're
Call
testing
me when
it
I
with
can
the
sit in the octagon during a pay-per-view with your virtual reality.
It's going to get there, dude. Just like Jake Paul was like on YouTube, and now he's like a major star in the boxing world. I'm going to tell you something.
It's a completely different story.
The project is starting.
Where you made that leap?
Is actually starting tomorrow at the LFA 144 event in South Dakota.
Thank God.
It's going to be between Win Gavrov versus Diego Silva. So basically, this is what it says. It says fans will enter an immersive environment in meta horizon worlds where they can see and speak with other fans in real time while enjoying unprecedented VR views of all the thrilling actions in the LFA octagon, including strikes, takedowns, grappling, and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be on UFC Fight Pass. They're testing it through the LFA. It's eventually going to get into the UFC. And I think, man, and just like I said on that show, man, I wasn't joking. I said Mark Zuckerberg is not there for no reason. He's there because they were going to partner up. The minute I saw the UFC partners up with Mark Zuckerberg and Metaverse, I was like, finally, AJ, man, finally got it right,
Finally,
man.
You're right about something.
Dude, I was dancing. I was moonwalking like all day, man. I'm like, I can't wait to get on the show. And it's perfect timing. We had technical difficulties. We had all kinds of shit. So we're going to invest $1,500 to become part of this metaverse. And we're going to be ringsidereport.net, the virtual team. And we're going to be, I'm telling you, man, hear me on this. Zuckerberg, you know what? I'm starting to like this guy a lot more. I'm calling him Zuck from now on. He's doing like a lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot of MMA. Now he's getting involved with the UFC. I heard him on the Rogan show. Like, you know, I listened to the interview. Man, and when that guy was talking, I was like, you know what? Why didn't I like this guy? This guy, man, is really like, holy shit, man. The stuff that he's going to bring to the table soon is like crazy. I mean, here we go. I'm telling you, Dave, for $1,500, it's not that bad, man.
Okay, buy one. Let me know how it is. Maybe I'll get one too.
Listen, I'm gonna try to get in touch with Zuck. You know, maybe try to get in touch with Zuck. You know, maybe do a little bit of jiu-jitsu with him and see if he could like toss in a couple of headsets for us. 4, in fact, one for me, Johnny, and Freddie. Maybe one for Uncle Simon.
Okay,
and we'll see what we can do, man. Like, I think it's a crazy idea, but I like it. At first, I was like, that's bullshit. And the first time I heard it, remember, I was on the show. I was like, this is totally bullshit. Who would want to pay me or pay to see me fight like Conor McGregor in virtual reality? I was looking at it.
That's not what this is, I don't think. I think this is just a different camera view, right? Like, you get to see it from a different perspective with virtual reality. So if you look around, you could maybe see the crowd behind you in the arena or something.
Well, it'll be a metaverse crowd. It's a metaverse crowd, and which is interesting is that you're going to be actually seeing a real fight live, but I'm able to interact with anybody that's in the crowd. I'll be able to see, like, you know, the double ganger David Simon in India, and I'll, like, you know, they'll be able to see the double ganger AJ in, like, I don't know, Russia. You know, I'm just trying to say is that it's a really cool concept.
That's not something I want to do.
Gonna work.
That is not something I want to do when I'm watching a fight. Interact with people, talk to people live while the fight is going on. Like, I'll talk to you later.
Dude, we do that all the time with our watch-alongs. Think of our
Yeah,
watch-alongs.
but I'm not really talking to somebody. I don't have to listen to somebody. I don't listen to you. I ignore you.
No, I know that. But listen to this. They'll be listening to us, like when we do our watch-along. It'll be, like, I'm telling you, it's going to be a crazy experience. I really like what they're doing. I think it's going to get even more interesting as time goes on, and once they start bringing that, which is going to happen into the UFC, like, I'm sure within the next year or two, I think it's a pretty cool concept. And like, Zuck has.
I'm glad you like this concept. I don't care
think so,
at all.
Dave.
I'm bored by this topic,
No,
AJ.
no.
This is so boring to me.
You're not. What are you
I am
talking about,
bored.
man? This
I'm
is the
bored
biggest
by
news.
this topic.
AJ
I think
was
we
right.
are boring the show people, the audience. They
People
don't
waited
like
30
this.
minutes to hear this shit.
Yeah, you waited 30
Angela's
minutes to
probably
hear AJ talk about how much he loves Mark Zuckerberg. Like, ugh,
Facebook.
yuck. You waited 30 minutes to
No,
hear
no,
a
Dave,
man
don't say that
who's
shit.
never ordered anything online in his life because he doesn't know how try to explain to you about the metaverse and virtual reality.
What are you talking about, Zuckerberg?
No, you. You
Oh.
are a man who's never ordered anything online in your life because you don't know how. Okay? You've asked me to order stuff off Amazon for you because you don't know how it works. And now you're trying to tell us about the metaverse and virtual reality headsets and trying to sell us on that when you don't understand
man.
basic concepts of online interaction.
Listen, man, AJ's getting educated, dude. I'm telling you, I'm on Zuck's side on this. I can see it.
Start
I
with
can
getting
see
a
it.
package delivered from Amazon and then
Man, listen, why would
You
I
know,
want to
walk
do that when they
before you
always
run.
get stolen? Listen, bud, every time I hear, like, you or my friends or everyone that gets, like, Amazon delivery, they always get stolen. It's like,
I've
no,
never
my
had a
package was
package
supposed to be there.
stolen.
When AJ goes to a store
I've
and I see a
never
pair of
had
jeans,
a package
and
stolen
it is-
ever.
listen, I find that hard to believe. But
It's
I'm telling
true.
you, AJ goes into a store, gets a pair of jeans. He's like, ooh, this is cool. Puts them on. You know, ooh, it feels great. I go to the counter, I pay them, I walk out with a bag,
Ooh.
and the only way those jeans are going to get stolen is if someone mugs me. Other than that, they're coming home with me. See, no problem.
So
Why
he's
should I
gonna
wait
mug
for
you
that?
for your pants?
You never know, man.
Hey, you, give me your wallet and
Give me your Levi's.
your pants. Screw your wallet. Just give me your pants and everything that's in your pants. How about that?
Listen. You want to hear the craziest thing? Not to jump off topic here.
No.
I was watching the
definitely
news
not.
today. Listen to this. Talk about like mugging and like a society going like kind of spiraling down.
I'm worried about
I
where
was
this is
watching-
going.
No, listen to this. I'm watching the news and I'm watching this accident that happened in New York City where unfortunately someone died under the wheels of, I think it was a truck or whatever. And all of a sudden some jabroni, I can't believe this shit happens, decided that while the guy is obviously dead, which is like horrible in itself, instead of like, doing like the humane thing or like, maybe covering up the body or whatever, bastard decides to pickpocket him. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Dave.
Tough times.
Crazy times, dude.
Tough
I don't know
times.
what the fuck's going on.
Hey,
That's why I listen to
Things are
Ringside
hard.
Report. Like, do something
life's
like
hard. Things happen, baby. Okay?
just like our technical problems, man. It
You gotta
can
toughen
always
up.
be solved.
You got to
You
toughen
got to
up.
toughen up, and you got to have patience. Where are we going on this topic?
UFC has a card this weekend. It looks terrible. I'm not interested. We'll talk
Well,
about
listen,
it. I'll
we'll
give you
talk
some
about
picks,
it.
but I really think it's trash.
Well, you know what? I mean, it's an okay card.
Whatever.
Like, but
We've talked
Yeah,
about
it's
it
not like-
enough already. Henry Cejudo's coming back. Did you hear about that? Henry Cejudo's
no, I
coming
didn't,
back.
man.
Yeah.
Is
he
this
says
for real or is
he's-
this rumor?
No, this is real. He said that he is re-entering the USADA testing pool. He is unretiring, and he hopes to fight the winner of Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw for the bantamweight title, and then win that and move up to fight Volkanovski for the featherweight title.
Wow, that could be interesting, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he can do it.
Listen, man, it's obviously like, about time, man, because it's been just too long that he hasn't come back into the game when there was no reason for him really to step away. Really no reason.
He was on
But-
top, and I think it made sense. Like, he was on top. There was nothing else he could accomplish, and there was no big money fight for him. So why just fight the next challenger when you can just stop fighting altogether? But Cejudo seems like he's coming back. He's still young enough to fight, and I think the winner of Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw makes a lot of sense for him. And that fight's going down next weekend, by the way. We're doing a afternoon watch-along next Saturday for UFC 280, Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. And as boring
Crazy.
and uninteresting as this weekend's fight card is, next weekend's fight card is unbelievable. Unbelievable. UFC 280, Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira in the main event. Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw in the co-main event. Piotr Yan versus Sean O'Malley.
Sugar.
Benil Dariush versus Mateusz Gamrot, and Manon Fiorot versus Caitlin Chukagian,
Oh, man,
rounding
oh,
out the
man.
main card.
That is crazy, man.
Yee.
I'm more
Yeet.
excited to see like Manon Fiorot. I'm telling you, man, this girl is
Caitlin time. I'm
yeah,
picking
Caitlin
Caitlin
is
already.
no,
Caitlin's
dude,
gonna
you're
win.
wrong on this. I'm telling you, man, Manon Fiorot is the beast, and she is the future beast of the UFC.
Too short.
This girl, not at all, man. She's a power puncher. She's just a killer instinct. She reminds me of like the French version of Ronda Rousey. She's got that killer instinct, man. I'm
Too
telling
short.
you, this is a beast.
Caitlin Chukagian's going to use that long frame, pick her apart, walk around her for 3 rounds, beat her on points, unanimous decision. Caitlin Chukagian. She's awesome.
I don't think so, man.
I'm always going with Caitlin.
She's gonna be like
Caitlin
meat tartare.
forever.
She's gonna be meat tartare when it's all done, man. I'm
It's
telling
weird,
you,
man.
that's
I've won so much money off Caitlin Chukagian, and you always pick against her, I think. Like, you pick against her too much. She's very good.
No, I don't. It's just she is, and I don't doubt it, man. She's amazing.
Plus 162 the underdog. Fiorot minus 200 the favorite. I like them odds.
I agree with that.
Give me those. Give me that money.
Listen, man, that's a beautiful card. This is ridiculous.
Oh my God!
But this is why they couldn't really.
Next Saturday afternoon. It's like 2 in the afternoon because it's in Abu Dhabi. But we're gonna do a watch along for it. You, me, and Freddie. Freddie will be back next week. Freddie is off today, but he'll be back. He'll be back.
Freddie's with Zuck.
Freddie is hanging out with Mark Zuckerberg, doing evil billionaire things. You know, that's what they do.
Listen, man. Thank you, Zuck, for entering the UFC.
Stop talking about fucking Mark Zuckerberg, goddammit. We're
I
talking about other things, and then you bring it back
him.
to Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know why. You said listen, and I knew when you said listen, you didn't have anything. You're like, listen, and I'm like, yeah. And then you're like, Zuck. And I'm like, yeah, that's all you got. Shut up, AJ. You know it's true, too. Listen. Yes? Oh, shit, he's listening. Zuck? That's all you had. Zuck? Okay, let's talk about slap fighting because it's really what we're here for.
With that shit, man?
It's what everybody's here for. Okay, it's 2 usually huge guys standing at a table, slapping each other in the face until another guy falls down. Or maybe it's just like 3 slaps and then that's it. But I think the goal of the sport is to knock the other guy down with slaps. I think it's possibly, you know, until somebody falls down, but it might not be. But it's a pretty cool-looking sport. I mean, it's stupid as hell, but it does seem to be a sport. I mean, I saw this online wiffle ball league that seemed way more of a sport than this.
This is more of a gag kind of stuff, man. You know, it's like that kind of little, like, yeah, the slap fighting wiffle ball is cool, man.
Oh, my God. Wiffle ball. Like, there's like, it's like almost pro wiffle ball. It's insane. There's some wiffle ball.
Are you talking about pickleball or wiffle ball?
No, wiffle ball. MLW wiffle ball. This is a sport that I'm telling you should catch on, and a sport that I want to play. This is a thing that we need to start a wiffle ball league in Montreal.
With slapping involved? I'm in.
There's no slapping. Wiffle ball is not slap fighting. It's 2 different sports. But I'm saying wiffle ball is a better sport than slap fighting. Wiffle ball is baseball, but slightly different, smaller field. Wiffle ball bat. Wiffle. I can't say wiffle enough, all right? I'm telling you, AJ, if you YouTubed, now don't do this now because you're watching our show, right? And you're doing the show and everything. But later on, I want you to check out MLW Wiffle Ball. I started watching this stuff the other day, and I was transfixed. I was like, oh, my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And I started looking up, like, how to buy the backstop for the strike zone for the wiffle ball. I started looking up, like, the equipment and how to buy this stuff, and I'm seriously thinking about starting some sort of wiffle ball league next summer, possibly, because I love it. I love it. And the way that these guys can get the ball to move, like the pitching is insane in wiffle ball. It's crazy.
I gotta check it out now. Now you're gonna be all curious.
I'm obsessed now with wiffle ball. It's like it's what I want to do and who I want to be.
I mean, I know pickleball, and pickleball has like a wiffle ball. I've played pickleball against seniors. I was actually invited.
I don't
Like,
even know what pickleball is. Is that like
pickleball
tennis?
is no, it's one of the fastest growing sports in the U.S. Believe it or not,
I've heard.
it's like rising here in Montreal. It's starting to get super popular. So basically, it's think of this: you take tennis, you take ping pong, and you take badminton, and you squish them all together, and you create the game of pickleball. So instead of a tennis ball, you got a wiffle ball. So if it strikes you in the eye, like AJ got hit by a tennis, I swear, man, I was at a tennis match once. I got hit right in the fucking eye. I've got punched in the eye. I've got punched in the nose. And it wasn't as bad as getting a tennis ball right in the eye socket. I got knocked over the stands. I hit the ground, and I was knocked out. I swear to God, this happened when I think I was like 20, maybe 20 years old. So I
You were a grown man when this happened?
dude, I got it. It hit me so fast. I saw stars. Like I can't even describe it. Stars. And
Where were you?
I was at a tennis match when it happened, man. It was
What
it
kind
was
of
like
tennis
the most
match? At a park or at like a stadium?
It was an event. It was a tennis match event. There was a lot of people there, and I was throwing jokes and like having a good old time.
Not
and, like,
paying
drinking
attention to the ball, and
Dude, I wasn't
boom!
paying attention, and a fucking ball came sailing, and it nailed me right in the eye. I dropped down. I can't even tell you how fast. I don't know what happened. I was like on my back when people were just trying to wake me up there. I'm like, what the fuck happened? But the thing, I had like a shiner, and I'm telling you, that fucking thing,
That's
it
why.
hurt. It was like instant pain that I can't remember. But anyways,
why.
I was pissed because I
That
dropped my
explains
beer.
a lot.
I had fucking chips. I don't know what happened. I was with there was ladies there. It's just embarrassing, dude.
Yeah.
And then I got a little bit excited at I think I said some words that you're not supposed to say at a tennis match, and and I was taken out. It was a long story. All to say is this: pickleball is a much safer sport. Even if you get a wiffle ball in the eye, it's not going to hurt you. Great sport. I love playing it. Like I said, I was invited by a bunch of seniors to play against seniors, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to whip their butts, but this is going to be easy. Man, these guys were so competitive. It was insane. But the thing is that I'm going to check out this WLM, man. Is WLM?
MLW,
okay.
wiffle ball, baseball.
MLW.
I
That's why it
am
brought me to like this weird site.
obsessed. I am obsessed with this. This is what
That's
I want
like
to
baseball.
do. It's baseball. Yeah, it's baseball, but like with a wiffle ball. And
this
the bat
is cool.
is
I could do
skinny.
this.
Oh my god. Yeah, you could do it. But look, if you start watching it and you see the
Man, this is
pitching,
like
the pitching on these guys is ridiculous. I don't think I can show this because it's like a YouTube channel. Can I
you
show
can.
what
Why
they're
not?
doing
Why not?
and like comment on it? Because it's amazing. I don't know if I'd get a copyright strike for this.
But why, man? You're just showing like other content that's like. I
It's
see what's
really
happening.
cool. I am
Man,
really into it.
It
I
kind of
want
looks
to
like
show it to you, but I don't think I can. But I want to. It's really
we need
awesome.
we need a lawyer to like say
It's
yay or
amazing.
nay, man.
Yeah. But it's really great, and I'm super obsessed with it, and I want to do it. I want to play. These guys look like they're having so much fun. They have mini
Yeah, it looks pretty
stadiums that
fun.
are so awesome. It's cool. So that is the weird sport that I have got into, and now it's what I want to do. I mean, we're already into pretty obscure sports. I spent my afternoon doing submission grappling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, 10th planet jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to call it, no-gi jiu-jitsu. We're watching MMA. We're watching pro wrestling. We're watching wiffle ball. Are you seeing this, AJ? You see the pitching?
Yeah, man, it's
Unbelievable
cool, man.
movement. The movement
But
is
listen,
incredible.
you know what it reminds me of? That stick reminds me of like the kids back in like the early days, man,
Stickball.
in Hell's Kitchen, New York, man,
Yeah.
playing like stickball, man.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, man.
It's awesome.
Wow.
I'm
Well, it
so
became a
into
sport,
this.
man.
I want to play so bad. I saw this. I was like, oh, this is yes. I used to play baseball. I was a baseball player, and I was half decent. So, that was
Listen,
pretty
man, if there's no punching or kicking involved, man, perfect, man. There's a sport in Italy. I forgot. It's like they play soccer, and basically it's soccer, but you could basically beat the shit out of your opponent as he comes forward, and it's
yes,
insane.
I've seen this. I've seen this.
Yeah,
yes.
it's completely insane, and it's actually not a sport that was just created in our modern times. It was actually a very ancient game that's been played over centuries, and they carry it on still to today. And I think it's in. I'm trying to remember where it is, in Naples or somewhere around there where you've seen it, Dave. It's insane, man. I love it. You know? Can you show that?
No. I think the wiffle ball.
What about
like
it?
the
Speak,
World
brother.
Series.
Yeah, I have a
They
World
just
Series.
announced. Yeah, they have like the wiffle ball like World Series is gonna be at a big stadium.
Some people are like, I gotta go now. Don't worry,
I'm telling you,
Silent but Deadly.
it's like maybe SoFi Stadium or one of these huge like football stadiums in the States is gonna have the World Series because it's getting really big. So all sorts of weird sports, and Dana White not getting into wiffle ball or pickleball or anything with a ball. You know, our buddy Dana White, he likes the fighting,
He likes the balls too.
as we all do. But Dana White getting into something else here, slap fighting, and it looks like Dana wants to take it into the U.S., which is a surprise. Let's hear from the boss. UFC President Dana White telling AJ where he can be a slap fighter.
What's up, everybody? UFC President Dana White here, and I am putting together the biggest slap competition of all time. So, if you have ever professionally slapped or you think you can...
If you've ever professionally slapped or think you can...
email a video and your information to our casting team at slapcast@pilgrimmediagroup.com or just hit the link in bio.
Pilgrim Media.
Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but Dana...
He looks excited, man.
And
Look
apparently
at him, man.
Lorenzo Fertitta and some other people that have been involved with the UFC or are involved with the UFC are trying to bring slap fighting into Las Vegas. They want to do a slap fighting event there. Dana is getting into a different type of fighting promotion now. Slap fighting, which is two guys at a table slapping each other in the face, one slap at a time until the other man goes down. I
for
think
money,
it's still it's for money or I don't know. But it just doesn't seem like it's not a sport for me. I watched like 5 minutes of it and I started falling asleep. It's kind of boring. Two giant Russian dudes that weigh about 300 pounds. Some of them are muscular, but some of them are just kind of large and in charge. And they're just slapping each other in the face. And there's no skill to it. It's just like, "Urgh." And some of them are good at taking slaps to the face. And, you know, they slap each other, and that's about it. There's no drama. It's like, oh, I guess he went down. That's the drama when somebody falls down. But I don't know. I watched it. I was not that into it. I'm much more.
What's up,
oh, shut up, Dana.
What the hell, Dana?
That was
Easy.
Dana. Dana doesn't want to leave us alone. But I'm just not into the slap fighting. I don't think it'll catch on. I don't think it's good. I don't know why Dana is wasting his time with this. He should be doing wiffle ball instead, or just, you know, whatever the UFC president has to do.
Look, I'm going to tell you something.
Play more blackjack. I don't know.
Look, there's probably like some basis to why he's doing it, and I'm sure it's got to do with like the numbers. I'm sure like he gets numbers from people watching like 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes of slap fights because they don't last that long, and like it just drives in like viewers, and that's all he's doing. He's probably gonna fill in space like, you know, in the UFC with like the Jackass series, man, of people just slapping the shit out of each other. People will be intrigued to be like, what the fuck? These people are nuts. But it's probably short clips where they're going to put him up and he's just going to get the viewers and the numbers. And he's going to be backed by Zuck now on Facebook. So you know that'll be popping
stop
up
it with
that
Zuck.
Listen, man, Zuck is going to be putting whatever Dana wants. It'll be like at the top of like everyone's feeds, man. AJ getting slapped by
feeds.
Dana. Feeds, man. Feeds. Get with it, Dave.
You get with it.
Get with the metaverse.
What's a feed? Is that like a UFC pop-up? Or your overseas groups where you get your information from?
No,
your false information?
Listen, my group from India, like, thank you very much for your time and everything. Well, the guys that fucked up for me were from India. But anyways, I love India and everything, but I have a new team. Philippines.
You have fake news, fake MMA news coming from the Philippines now?
Listen, man, they gave me the news with with Zuckerberg and Dana with the whole UFC partnership.
Oh,
They
so
gave me
it's
that
probably
info.
not even true
Yeah.
because I didn't hear
No,
about
no,
it, so
it's
it's
true.
probably made up.
No, it's true, man.
I
It's
didn't
up there.
double
And then-
check. I thought that I'll just let AJ. I figure AJ's got this one, but it's probably
I got
not even
this one.
true.
No, it's true, but it's true. This one is a fact, man. My team from the Pinoys, man, they know what they're talking about. Listen,
Okay,
and
yes.
they also got news from them.
Metaverse events. Okay.
See, AJ's right. And the best part is that they sent me something too that says MMA World is in shock because Hasbulla has signed a contract to fight in the UFC. Now, it seems legit. My little
What?
buddy Hasbulla.
Whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
apparently
whoa! Shut up, AJ. Wait. What is this information you're getting for the Philippines? That Hasbulla, who's like 3 foot tall and kind of a funny Instagram guy, is gonna has signed a UFC contract? This is what you're telling me?
Yeah, apparently he's supposed to do his debut in December. So I don't know how that's going to work out. It's going to be one of these.
Shut up, AJ. It's not happening. Are you crazy?
Hasbulla,
Are you
man.
crazy?
Listen, Hasbulla hasn't. I've seen this guy get upset. He's went after certain people in the.
Dude.
How can I say it? In the very small world, I don't know, or like very tiny world. I mean, this guy is like he's like the Jean-Claude Van Damme and Khabib put into one, man. I'm telling you, the guy has like these double scissor kicks when he jumps in the air. It's really it's funny and impressive at the same time. So Hasbulla, do it for Khabib.
He's not fighting in the UFC.
Listen, man. I don't know. I'm telling you.
Let's bet. How much do you want to put money down that Hasbulla, whatever his name is, will never fight in the UFC? He won't fight in the UFC this year or next year. I'll give you 3-1 odds on that too. I mean,
listen, man.
10-1. What the hell?
Listen, apparently the rumors are true, man. Details will be revealed by the end of the year. Thank you to the UFC, Dana White, Khabib, and everyone who helped make this dream become a reality. All the fans of Hasbulla will have an Hasbulla fight kit soon. I'm telling you, man. You know, he has a rival. It's Abdul Razik. You know, so this is who the fight has to be. This is just what came up. It's Abdul
So now
Razik.
we're doing little person MMA in the UFC.
They're not little. They're a little bit
No, it's
smaller than little. They're
no,
tiny.
it's
Tiny.
they're little people. Isn't that what it's called? They're called little people.
Well, you know what? I thought for the longest time that Hasbulla was like a kid. You know, like a young.
Yeah, he's like
Child.
Joe C with Kid Rock. That guy.
Yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Except he's more wild. I like Hasbulla, man. He's a pretty cool guy.
I don't know.
And you should
that
see the
Joe C
ladies
was
that he
pretty-
hangs around with, man. Like Hasbulla's got some style. I must admit, man.
Yeah, that's not going to happen in the UFC, AJ. I'll bet you anything. That's crazy talk. You're nuts if you think that Dana White is going to do little person MMA in the UFC. I've never even seen that on like a rinky-dink MMA show. You're telling me that the major leagues of MMA is going to do... Who's going to sanction this? What athletic commission would sanction 2 guys to fight in the UFC that don't have a weight class?
The UFC
What are they,
Apex,
70
man?
pounds?
Well, no, probably less than that, Dave. Way less than that, I'm sure.
How big is Hasbulla?
How tall is he? He's 3'4", man.
How tall is my son? He's got to be taller, right?
Yeah, he's probably taller than that for sure.
I don't know. He's
Your son
5.
is what? 60
He's
pounds?
5. He's about 50 pounds.
50 pounds? I'd say Hasbulla is probably around there, man. If not less. He's 3'4", man.
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that you believe this.
Listen,
I
man,
can't
maybe
believe that you think this
maybe
is...
it's a PR
This is
stunt
why
for the UFC,
we got to
but Dana
double
White,
check your dumb information you get from your feeds from the Philippines.
Listen, man, it's out there, man, and it's strong, and Dana White has made
It's
like
not out
reference
there.
to it.
It's not
It
strong.
is out there, man. I'm
No,
telling
you're
you, man.
putting it
Don't
out there.
Don't get mad at me. I want to see Hasbulla fight. I actually want to see him fight.
Okay.
He's getting trained by the Dagestanian guys. You don't think he's going to do well?
Did you
I think
know?
he'll do well, man.
Did you know karate was illegal now?
What? Where, in Montreal?
In Quebec, yes. No more karate because it's not in the Olympics anymore. So they just had a big Quebec provincial karate championship canceled because there's no karate in Olympics anymore. So the governing body, right, which is the same problem with jiu-jitsu that we've always had here in Quebec, is that there's no jiu-jitsu in the Olympics. So if you don't have a governing body to oversee, an Olympic governing body to oversee your combat sport, you weren't allowed to hold tournaments or competitions. So boxing was okay. They could have amateur boxing competitions, all sorts of boxing, pro boxing. You could have karate because it was in the Olympics, but now it's not anymore, so you can't. You could have wrestling. You could have wrestling meets and wrestling tournaments and stuff like that. Taekwondo as well because it's Olympics.
Yep.
But jiu-jitsu was getting the shaft for several years here in the province of Quebec because, and now, karate.
I'm shocked.
Which made news today. Which protected. Is yeah, well, that's it. I'm really surprised because karate is kind of like, most people that you tell, most people I say, oh yeah, I do jiu-jitsu. They think I'm doing karate. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
With the headband,
They're
the whole thing.
Oh, you do jiu-jitsu. Cool. So you must be really good at punching and kicking. And I'm like, no, I don't punch and kick at all. I don't know. I'm not that good at that. I mean, I'm okay, but that's mostly from Muay Thai, not karate.
But listen, this is news to me because I didn't hear this today. But all to say is that karate was so protected in some sense by the Olympic board committee, that it was still sanctioned anywhere as almost like it could be an Olympic sport. Like it's weird because
it was. It's been removed from the Olympic sports, so now it falls under the kind of gray zone where not in Quebec.
But in Quebec, the thing is that karate is so strong here in Quebec. I mean, I can't talk for all provinces, but here in Canada, Quebec, karate is such a strong discipline of martial arts, going back way back into the early 60s, and then you got into the 70s where you had guys like André Gilbert, which was one of the pioneers here in Montreal or in Quebec that was renowned for his karate, won a lot of championships, had more schools than anyone can think, and then his students that carried on, he has top level students. You had guys like even kickboxing, like the Iceman and all them that were training in karate style and carrying it over to kickboxing where he was like a champion, man. It's still, all these guys are still around. But I look at Andre Gilbert, and at one point Andre Gilbert was he was like a media star, man. He was up there as Pierre Elliott Trudeau, but you'll know Andre Gilbert because he was so known for the world of martial arts. That's why I'm shocked because karate tournaments are they're all over the place. They're in elementary schools, community centers, national meets, provincial meets, world level meets. And these are kids coming out of the karate schools here in Montreal, which I know quite a few of them that have gone to the Worlds, which means now that they can't even train in Quebec on the competitive level. If
they can train in the gym, they just can't have competitions.
No, but that's the same thing with jiu-jitsu here in Montreal. And I don't want to get mad because I'm so upset because I know that it's been brought up. We talked about it on our show, and then in Quebec,
we've been talking about it for years now, and the only way to fix it was to get that stupid government that we have out of office, but the shitty province can't do any better than the stupid CAC and that goddamn Francois Legault, and because of that, we still have no jiu-jitsu here in the province because nobody in the CAC government wants to do anything about it because they don't give a shit about us. The martial arts community, the jiu-jitsu community, the karate community now, not just jiu-jitsu players all around the world, but now the karate people. We know that our provincial government does not care about us.
Wait. Hold on a sec, Dave. Can I say something? This might be the actually a shining star right now because I was just thinking about it. Now you've touched karate, which was like one of the biggest martial arts here in Quebec.
Yes.
And I'm sure Legault probably did karate as a kid. He probably was a champion in his mind.
This guy has never put on a gi in his life.
Listen, I'm almost positive this guy did put on a gi when he was a kid.
Bet you he never put on a gi. You kidding me?
Listen, man, I hope he did, because the best thing that can happen right now is if karate is not sanctioned by an Olympic board or the Boxing Association or whatever, it's now in the same playing pot. And what else was there that couldn't be? Well, really, it was jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, now karate.
You're saying now because karate is so big and it's been going on for so long that this might be the push we need to finally get jiu-jitsu legalized once again in the province of Quebec.
100%. And I know that, like, the karate world, like I said, you have guys like Andre Gilbert that are still, like, he's still alive, grandmaster in karate.
How about
you
George
have
St. Pierre?
George St. Pierre was a
karate guy.
Karate. He is a karate guy. He came from a very strong team. We have Justin Mancini, who was like, top level karate guy here in Montreal. We've got, like, there's so many guys. I can name so many of them, man. But what I'm trying to say is this might be the actual silver lining that's going to help Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu get back into world-class level. Because I'm going to say this, and I got really upset, because here in Montreal, across Canada, the best tournaments that were happening for the world of Jiu-Jitsu was here. We had the ADCC that came into Montreal putting on world-level shows. We had the IBJJF, which was putting international stars here in Montreal to compete. We had NAGA that was coming to Montreal. I was involved in all three of these, and I seen everybody from like, you name it, the Mushemis. I saw Gordon Ryan. I saw all the guys that are winning.
Who's Mushemi?
Mushemi, the Mushemi, the brother and sister there. They're world.
Mikey Musamichi.
Yeah, Mushemi. I say Mushemi, man. Musamichi.
It's an Italian name. You would think you'd know how to pronounce it, D'Alessio.
Mushemi, man.
It's
but the thing
Musamichi.
is this. No, okay, whatever.
I don't think it's Mushemi. It's M-U-M.
But listen, all to say is this: you look at Mackenzie Dern that came here. We saw Megaton that was like here. We saw like world level Lee Villeneuve's here busting like some of the best, man. What I'm trying to say is, once they took away the competitive level in Montreal, we lost like the best competitions in Canada, and really getting some of the best jiu-jitsu players competing here in Montreal and just getting the sport better. We sort of went backwards. Even though we're training hard in the gyms and whatnot, we're not able to really have world-level tournaments because of this stupid law that was created over 100 years ago. And if people are wondering why it's not here in Montreal,
we did have tournaments for a while, and then because the law wasn't being enforced, but then the law started being enforced, and it ruined it for everybody.
Can I explain why? We have like an association.
I don't want to tell the 100-year story here.
No, listen. There's an association going on here in Montreal that's fighting for jiu-jitsu to return. I think the best thing that could have happened was karate to be in the same boat. I think things are going to work a lot faster to change that, because if it happens to karate, automatically has to happen to jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. And this law was a 100-year-old archaic law where basically like two guys fighting in the backyard for money 100 years ago became illegal. So they used this boneheaded law between two promoters here in Montreal that were fighting against each other to stop one event over the other. These donkeys used that law. Once they put that law into effect, it became a law that was across Canada at one point, and then it became a provincial regulation. So every province can look at this law that was created over 100 years ago and change it. Yeah. So two greedy promoters destroyed the sport because one was upset over the other. But let's not talk
about the promoters, because all the government would have to do is, change the law a little bit. Like, it doesn't take that much. They could fix this problem real easily.
100%.
But it doesn't seem like they're trying to.
And think about it. Why would you want to not encourage like physical health? Why would you not want people to be like involved in like martial arts, like or any type of sport? But right now we're talking martial arts. It's illegal. It's not illegal to play soccer. It's not illegal to play football. Widget ball, whatever you were wiffle ball that you were calling before, whatever. is not illegal, but karate, Muay Thai, and Jiu-Jitsu is illegal to compete in Montreal. How does that make sense? Legault, if you're listening to this, I know you probably were wearing a kimono back in your days, looking all like suave and everything. I'm going to tell you something. Change the law now. And you know what? Justin Trudeau, too, that bonehead. You know what I'm saying is that I shouldn't say that because
all right, take it easy. Take it easy.
No,
let's not get into it. I know you don't like him.
He does boxing.
I don't like him
boxing,
either, but
if he was doing jiu-jitsu, like Mark Zuckerberg, who's cool, that law would have been changed right away. That's what I'm trying to say is that,
can I just say
it
something?
just doesn't make sense.
I agree.
Sure.
And I agree with you. And I think hopefully it'll be better in the province of Quebec, and karate will be legalized once again, and so will jiu-jitsu, and everything will be nice. But, we don't have a great provincial government here, and they do.
But I'm
they're not
Dave,
very helpful, so I don't know.
I have a strong feeling that I didn't know about this news today, and in some ways I'm kind of happy because it's going to speed track this stupidity of a law. And you know what? I'm almost pretty sure by the end of next year we're going to see like big changes in the world of martial arts here in Quebec. And it's about damn time too,
I just want to make a point about our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, for a second. This might be a controversial point.
He's a great boxer.
And I know AJ is going to be probably upset by this, but I don't like him. I didn't vote for him. I've never voted for him. I'm not a big fan, right? I don't like him. I don't think he's a great prime minister. I think he's kind of not a great guy, and not great. Not my kind of guy.
Knocking on your door, dude.
Well, I mean, the guy blackfaced his face a couple of times, and that's not cool. I don't like that.
You got a point there.
And there's some other things, where there's like a woman who accused him of some bad things, and he's like, "Oh, well, we remember the thing differently." It's like, do you, or does she remember it in a violent way, and you remember it in a, it's just what I do way, So I just think that he's a hypocrite and a son of a prime minister, and isn't really in touch with the everyday Canadian, and isn't a real citizen of this country. He's kind of an aloof, rich jackass. So I don't have
Don't hold back, Dave.
I mean, I don't have a ton of respect for him. However, the people that spend their days talking about how much they hate him, and how he is a communist or whatever, and all these things, it makes it really hard to voice what I consider reasonable complaints and displeasure with our prime minister when there are pickup trucks with Canadian flags and bumper stickers all over them with the F Trudeau and the, where we go one, we go on. Like, they're QAnon and they hate Trudeau. And I'm like, I like the Trudeau is bad part, but you lose me with the QAnon part. And that's where I'm kind of, I'm at a little bit of a crossroads in my Canadianness where I'm like, look, I don't like the guy either, but could you relax a little bit? There's no great conspiracy. I don't think he's a pedophile. There's a lot of shit that people start throwing on to Trudeau. And I'm like, yeah, I think he's kind of a bad guy, and, all the things I said before, but, like, all the other stuff that people are lumping on, I'm like, because Trudeau's kind of in the middle, and people hate on him from one side, and then I hate on him from the other side. And I don't go to the other side to see where those guys are coming from because they got the flags and the trucks and the anger and the, and the QAnon and whatever else is going on. So it's just a weird situation right now in this country with the prime minister and just with everybody and how people are acting. Because it's like, yeah, I don't like him either, but, like, can we relax about it? Like, he's not some sort of, devil or Satan, and all that stuff, like the Satan and the da-da-da. Eventually, it just goes into anti-Semitism, and that's where you really lose me, because as a Jewish guy, I don't really fall into the I don't like anti-Semitism or anti-Jewish rhetoric, which, there's a segment of the Trudeau haters that are like, also Jews, and I'm like, whoa, what? What do you mean? And it gets a little weird. It gets a little weird. And that's all I really want to say about it.
All to say is you probably would have liked him a lot more if he came out and said, listen, guys, Quebec, what are you doing with the Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai world?
Yes. If he
make
could just,
it like...
Although, you know what? Probably not. Because...
Why?
This is the man who legalized weed across the country. And I still don't like him. Like,
That's kind of funny.
legalizing
I
weed,
didn't think about that.
incredible. It's so great. I love it. Fred loves it. We both could not love the fact that it's legal more. It's tremendous. But we don't like
Let me ask
the
you a
Prime
question.
Minister,
Let me ask
really.
you a question.
The guy who really pushed it forward, I don't like. I didn't vote for. But I appreciate that he legalized weed because I think that was a sound, reasonable move. And,
Endeavor.
I think we've seen now, like, it's not
Listen,
a
let me
great
ask you a
fall of
question.
society. Nothing has collapsed because we legalized weed several years ago, right? So he is the guy that legalized it, so I think that's cool, but I don't really like him, Anyway.
I'm going to ask you a question because it was
All
just
right.
like sent to me. It was like, do you think like he legalized weed because he likes to smoke weed?
I think he did it to get votes, and it worked.
Do you think he smokes weed?
I think
I
he
can
probably
see him,
has,
man. He
yeah.
looks
He
like
may
it, yeah.
still smoke weed. Why not?
Just legalize jiu-jitsu, bud, and Muay Thai, and we're good. I'll
Nobody
vote for
ever
you.
asks, do you think the president drinks beer? It's like, yeah, maybe. Maybe he smokes weed. Maybe he, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, Bush did. Bush
as
was
a
a
weed
big
smoker,
weed whacker.
As a weed smoker, I don't think it's such a big deal because I've done it many, many times, and it really doesn't impact your senses like so many other intoxicants do. Like I've done weed, I've done alcohol, I've done LSD, I've done mushrooms, I've done a lot of things.
Kind of like Harold and Kumar, man.
And weed is the least of all of them. Like. Give me
Harold and
3
Kumar.
beers and I won't be able to operate anything. Give me 3 joints and I'll be totally fine. So that's my stance on that. AJ? You got
That's
any
what
other
Eddie
questions
Bravo
for
says.
Dave?
No, man, that sounds good, man.
Well, I'm a 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu guy too, right? So never forget.
Well,
Eddie Bravo.
Eddie Bravo would be proud, man.
I love him.
You get a
I love
black
him.
belt in like weed smoking. But I'm going to tell you this.
Yes. Not in Jiu-Jitsu, but in weed smoking.
Or an automatic
jiu-jitsu,
red
black
belt.
belt in weed smoking. And not even a good blue belt either. Pretty shitty, to be honest. But, I'm working hard.
Listen, man, it's all about like time on the mat, like anything else. All to say is this, man. We got off topic, but it's important for people that are listening to us to know, the stupidities that happen here in Quebec on ridiculous laws that don't make any sense. So instead of encouraging your young kids to participate now in karate, and you want them to bring home that gold medal, well, it won't happen, man. It just won't happen.
Yeah, it sucks because jiu-jitsu seems like a sport geared more for adults. Like there are a lot of kids that are doing jiu-jitsu, but like if you walk into most jiu-jitsu gyms, it seems like it's mostly adults that are doing it.
It's a tough sport, man.
But karate, like kids do karate. So you're kind of taking away a lot of opportunities for kids to grow and get better in sport and stuff. And I just feel really bad for all the kids that have been doing karate for years and, now they can't have their competitions. Like, it sucks, This is, as a kid, like, I remember, playing baseball and having success in baseball as a kid. It did a lot for me. It's really great to be able to be very good at something and to compete against other kids and have success, to get that type of that positive reinforcement and to feel good and to accomplish these things and to work and to succeed, I think is really good for kids. I think sports are really good for kids. And, it sucks when kids get taken out of that. Can't do their karate competitions. Like it's really
doesn't make any sense.
It's too bad, man. Because I'm really for sports for children. I think it's very important.
Absolutely, and it sucks for the coaches and for the clubs and all that across Quebec that are, probably going to lose some of their better students who need to compete often. Outside of Quebec, man, they're going to go to Ontario. They'll go to different places.
They have to travel. It just makes it more difficult and more expensive.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
It's not cool. It's not cool. So hopefully they fix that here in the province of Quebec, but they're too focused on stupid things, language issues, and racism, not stopping racism, just being more racist. And, that's really what the government is focused on in this province. They're focused on making sure no one speaks any language other than French and just being extremely racist to anybody who's not white and French Canadian. That seems to be the motive of the Quebec government as far as I see it. Also ruining fun and just being overall lame. Also kissing his sister. That guy, the Premier Legault, he loves kissing his sister right on the lips. Anyways.
Like a wet one, too.
Let's get back to MMA.
But I'll have to say, just quickly, Dave, that's just a small number of French Canadians, because most French Canadians are not like that. All my buddies and everything, they're not.
No, it's the CAC.
They're not like that. It's just a small number.
Look at Fred,
boneheads.
One of our best friends. Fred's got, Fred's a French Canadian.
Don't let
my
his
mom.
name Garcia fool you.
My mom's
man.
a French Canadian.
Mom, yeah.
My mom's not a racist.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean?
Dave Simon.
No, it's just the CAC government. They seem to promote racism. They seem to be pro-racist. From my perspective, they seem to be pro-racism. And that, I'm against that. I'm anti-racism. I don't think racism is good. But, I think it exists, obviously.
Sucks.
Racism
sucks.
What are you going to do? Everybody's racist everywhere in the world. It's not in Quebec. It's not in Canada. It's everywhere, in every country, in every city, everywhere. Whenever there's people that are slightly different than you, you're going to make assumptions if you don't know who they are and what they're about. Right? That just happens. That's why we are lucky to live in a city where we can interact with so many different kinds of people, different groups, and different, so you understand. Like, I know AJ, he's an Italian guy. He's all right. I'm a Jewish guy. I'm totally fine. Fred's Spanish, I think. And he's fantastic.
He's a Latino,
you know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah. See, we live in Montreal. We got all sorts of different guys. We're all white men, so not really a huge spectrum. But AJ's Italian, which he claims is not white.
True.
Right. All my Italian friends claim they're not white. My friend Joey also claimed he's not white. He's olive skin. So he says he's not white.
Voila. See?
But he's a white guy. You guys are Italian, you're white guys. Are Jewish guys white guys? Am I a white guy?
I'm not sure, bud.
I think so.
You think so? Okay, if it makes you happy.
I don't know. It doesn't make me happy. Nobody wants to be a white guy. It's no good.
What are you talking about, man?
Nah, it's no good.
I just lost something. It kills
Nobody
me when
likes
you
white
lose
guys.
Something.
It's the facts. Nobody likes white guys. Terrible.
Dude, is this show going to get banned or something?
Well, it's true, though. Like, white guys?
Welcome to the Ringside Report.
Liked group of people in the world. I mean, I think people like them, but you know what I mean? It's not
Listen,
like
man, I love everybody, man.
If you go out and you're like, I love white guys. White guys are the best. People will be like, whoa, what the hell are you talking about here? You know what I'm saying? It gets weird. You can't be pro white guys, I don't think. What the hell are we talking about?
I don't know, man. Who knows anymore? We were talking about metaverse. We were talking about illegal jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, can we just get back into the fights?
Right.
Araujo versus
talking about
Grasso.
A shitty card coming up this week. Yeah,
Araujo versus Grasso. Let's do a parlay. Let's just skip everything.
That's it. Straight to it.
I don't care.
Okay, bud. Let's do it.
I don't care. We got on late. It's late. I'm sick of this. Sick of this nonsense.
Coming up, man.
Sick of this AJ nonsense. I don't know. There's a lot of fights on this card, and I'm not super excited about any of them. Not one. I think Royval and Askarov is interesting at flyweight, I guess.
I think that's going to be a good fight.
That's about it.
I mean, Misha fight, a guy from Canada fighting again, which I saw him grapple, years ago when jiu-jitsu was legal.
Yes.
I saw
Misha
him here in Montreal.
Alonzo Menefield. I've got Menefield in that one.
Yeah, you know what?
I just think Misha's seen his better days,
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna agree with you on that one. It's gonna be tough for Misha. I mean, if it goes to the ground, we know the guy has like phenomenal grappling skills or whatnot, but Listen, man, he's back to light heavyweight. He didn't do too well in middleweight, and is 12-3, man. Menifield is 12-3. He's fought in heavyweight as well. It's gonna be a tough fight, man. But he's a stronger guy. He's like 3 inches shorter than Misha.
Manifield's he packs power. Misha's been knocked out too many times.
That's the problem.
When he gets hit recently, it's
his jaw is like questionable, and that's the problem. And you're going up against this guy who looks like, he's been doing pretty well, and he's still a bigger fighter per se, even though he's 3 inches shorter.
Well, there you go. And I'm going to start with Alonzo Menifield on my parlay. I'm going with Alonzo Menifield. I'm throwing him on my parlay. I'm also going to go with Jacob Malkoun as a slight underdog over Nick Maximov, the Nate Diaz Academy product. I think he's getting a slight edge on the betting cards because of that Nate Diaz association. I've got Malkoun plus 105. And also, I'm going to continue along with the undefeated Tatsuro Taira out of Japan. He could be the next great superstar from Japan, and Japanese MMA definitely needs that. I miss the days when we had Japanese MMA fighters in the top 10 of most MMA divisions. The Japanese were some fantastic MMA fighters in their prime. We're talking about, of course, Sakuraba, guys like Shinya Aoki, guys like Yushin Okami. We had some tremendous Japanese fighters in the UFC and in Pride, of course. And I would like to see Tatsuro Taira, become a star in the UFC, because I think he's very talented, undefeated as a pro, undefeated as an amateur. Minus 250 the favorite, taking on Carlos Vergara. And that is my 3-fight parlay that I'm giving you for this weekend. I gave you a 7-fight a couple weeks ago that 6 out of 7 cashed in on. We're going to keep it a little bit more conservative for this one. We're going to give you 3 fights here. Team Dave, Taira, Malkoun, and Menifield. $20 gets you $86.94 over at bet99.com. That is not too bad. A 3-fight parlay, 20 gets you $86.94. Over at bet99.com. So once again, Taira, Malkoun, and Menifield is the Team Dave parlay. But I will give you a few more picks here just before AJ gets his parlay. I like Cub Swanson, plus 171 over Jonathan Martinez in the co-main event.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Dave.
I think Swanson is still... I think he's still got quite a bit of gas left in the tank. I think Askar Askarov, Brandon Royval is a real interesting fight, but I think Askar probably wins. But minus 240 the favorite. I don't like those odds. I think he's too heavy of a favorite, and I didn't put him on my parlay because of that. I think Askarov probably wins, but I would not count out Brandon Royval. I like Dushko Tudorovic over Jordan Wright.
Oof.
I like also Lucas Alexander, a big underdog, plus 300. I like him. Throw a couple bucks on Lucas Alexander, plus 300, to beat Joe Anderson Brito. I think Alexander could surprise some people and pick up a big victory. And that's about all I have for you for this UFC Vegas 62 card coming up on Saturday. AJ, you heard my 3-fight parlay. You're on the clock. What do you got?
Man, it's like I'm going to go against you on a couple of those fights, but I'm going to go with I'm going to start off with Grasso. I think Grasso has what it takes to beat Vivian. Vivian is a beast, man. She's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, a black belt in lucha libre, Brazilian lucha libre. This girl can grapple. There's no doubt about it. But it's the striking part. And I think Grasso is going to be able to control this fight, to keep it standing. And I'm going to go with Grasso for the win.
I give her the edge as well. I think Grasso is going to win. I think Grasso is very durable. I think she's the better striker. And over a 5-round fight, I think she has a better cardio as well. I like Grasso to win, but by decision.
But actually, you've got a good point, because this fight, chances are, will go to the decision.
I think
if
it'll
you look
go all
at
five.
Grasso's
Yeah.
track record, she 83% of her wins have gone to decision.
Yeah.
And when you look at Vivian, 75% of her wins have gone to decision. So if you're going to look at a striker to a grappler, she has to grapple and basically control the fight for 5 rounds. That's not going to be enough, because you know how it works. In 5-round fights, the striking is going to be the edge, and that's what I think is going to happen. And you know me, I think, if she could submit her, it's going to happen in the first, second round. That's when you have your pure strength. But as it goes into the latter rounds, the striking game is what's going to make the difference to the judges. And I think that's where Grasso has that edge.
And just off that, AJ, will the fight go the distance? Yes,
Yep.
minus 209. Yes. No, plus 140. So the yes, definitely. People are expecting this fight to go all 5 rounds.
Listen, man, that the track record for both of them shows that the probability will be going to a decision. I don't see a submission, and I don't see a knockout. We could be absolutely wrong, but if any of those things happen, it has to happen in the first couple of rounds. If it doesn't happen, it's going to distance, and Grasso will have that edge with the decision win. Then I'm going to go the other way, because you went with Cub Swanson, and I'm like, what? Cub Swanson, I can't believe he's still fighting. The thing is that he's fighting Jonathan Martinez. The guy is young. And what's crazy about this, when you look at the stats, Cub Swanson made his professional MMA debut in 2004. Jonathan Martinez was only 10 years old at that time. So it just goes to show you the wear and tear. And here you are in 2022, when a kid of 10 years old is going to meet a fighter that he probably watched on television many times. It's going to be a tough fight for Swanson. I think age is going to be a factor, and I'm giving the edge to Martinez to win this. And look, he has a lot of experience as well, Martinez. It's not like he's getting into this fight without experience.
I don't think he has the experience of Swanson, and I think Swanson still has a lot of firepower left. Martinez has been knocked out not that long ago. Swanson is still knocking people out. He's still very dangerous on the feet. He's got a lot of tricks. I think he's going to catch him. I think he's going to put him to sleep. But
it's his first. But listen, it's his first fight at bantamweight, right? So that's the difference. He's 38 years old, man. It's gonna. I don't know. It's gonna be tough, and I'm giving it to Jonathan just based on that.
All right. He's the favorite.
Then he's the favorite, and I think there's a reason for that. No offense to Cub Swanson, but
Cub Swanson by KO. Cub Swanson by KO plus 475. I like that. I like that.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
All right.
But listen, man, Brandon Royval, man, we've seen this guy fight. He's always impressive. But Askar Askarov, man, this guy is. Look, he had a bad loss to Kai Kara, which I thought he was going to win. But he just, every fighter has a bad night. That was Askarov's bad night. This guy is so impressive. I was watching a documentary on him. I didn't know he was deaf. I didn't realize he was hearing impaired.
Oh,
just
really?
his
I didn't
regiment,
know that either.
Yeah, I was surprised. So just his regiment and everything that goes behind this guy is incredible.
Like Matt Hamill.
Kai Kara France. Yeah, you remember him?
Yeah.
I loved him, man.
He's
was
the only
awesome.
guy that ever beat John Jones.
Yeah, go figure that, man.
Well, it's disqualification.
But still, man.
Right? He's got the only W on he's got the only L on John Jones' record, right?
I remember they used to, not to jump sports, but I remember there used to be a deaf baseball player, and I actually have his card here signed.
Curtis Pride.
For the Montreal. Curtis Pride. I have Curtis Pride's signed autograph baseball cards with the Montreal Expos. I have 3 of them. I should give you one, Dave. I'll give you one
right.
because it is because he was actually pretty good. But going back to Askarov, I mean,
give me one of those, and I'll give you one of these. You're gonna like
see.
this.
What are you gonna give
this bad boy? Ooh.
Oh, I like that, man.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it.
Batmobile. Look at that gold.
Yeah, that's collector's right there. Okay, it's a deal.
It's not a collector's item.
It's not the gold one. Anyways,
I got collector's items.
I think Askarov is going to win this. You had one bad night, and it's never going to be another bad night till he's at the top of the game. I think this guy's making his way to fight for the belt at some point.
I don't think so.
Listen, and then I think
he wins, but I don't think he fights for the belt. Anyways. Dushko?
Listen, man, he just has one loss. Dushko, man, Dushko is the guy that we always say, and Dushko always like disappoints us. But the thing is that this is gonna be probably fight of the night. These two guys are going to be slugging it out, and it's going to be who has the better hands at the end to win this. And I'm telling you, the only difference that I'm giving it to Jordan Wright is because he's a former light heavyweight fighter. He's taller, he has a longer reach, and that might just be the slight edge to beat Dushko. But this will be fight of the night. So
I think Dushko's going to win this fight. You're going with Jordan Wright, the underdog, plus 171. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And remember, like I said,
what
there's
else?
Just those.
Are you going to get to the end of the parlay?
Yeah, and then I'm going to go with Alonzo, man. I think, and I don't want to go against Misha because he's a Canadian guy. I've seen this guy, man. You know, super nice guy. But I just don't like the fact that he's going up against Alonzo, man. Alonzo,
he packs
he's 12-3. He packs a punch, and that's the problem. Misha's jawline sometimes is questionable, and I think it's going to be an issue. So this might be a night that Misha gets knocked out. And I'm going with Alonzo on this one.
And that's it. Your 5-fight parlay.
That's it, man.
So AJ's 5-fight parlay, to recap for everybody. AJ going with Alexa Grasso, Jonathan Martinez over Cub Swanson, Askar Askarov over Brandon Royval, Jordan Wright as a slight underdog over Dushko Todorovic, and Alonzo Menafield, the favorite, over Misha Cherkunov. $20 gets you $247.96. That's not too bad. $20 gets you just under $250 with the 5-fight parlay from AJ DeLesio. It is not bad. It is not bad. Man. A lot of those things could come through. Like, I think Swanson's going to win, but I didn't put Swanson on my parlay. I just throw a single bet on Swanson. Askarov, I think, will probably win. I got Grasso winning. I put Menafield on my parlay, too. I don't like the Jordan Wright pick. That's the only pick on this 5-fight parlay that I don't really like, AJ.
Listen, that fight there it could be either or. It's going to be so close. But like I said, that small edge. What the hell was with the flying pumpkins? I love it, man.
Halloween season, baby.
Well, we do have like new programming and everything, so maybe it's part of the testing thing. I think it's awesome. But it's going to be the Dushko is going to be one of those where I'm going to be like, damn, I was right, or like, man, my parlay got blown. But, if I had to, which
usually
I did.
It's, damn, my parlay got blown.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
It's been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm very confident in this card. I think this is going to pay out. I think the payout is pretty good for $20 at Bet99. Even AJ is going to bet. I don't like to bet all the time. But you know what? There's some that I feel like I need to where I'm going to regret it. And I think this is one of them coming up.
Go for it. Go for it. And then next week we'll have a big party, big betting, big money coming down on UFC 280. Just want to mention UFC 282, ESPN reporting that Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev will take place at UFC 282 December 10th in Vegas. The main event will be Yuri Prohaska versus Glover Teixeira, the rematch for the UFC light heavyweight title. So we're setting it up pretty nicely here. Yuri versus Glover, and the winner probably takes on the winner of Yan versus Magomed at UFC 282. I am pumped because I think we're finally going to get to see the fight that I've been waiting for feels like years now. Magomed Ankalaev versus Yuri Prohaska. I think that is the fight that we will see. That is the fight that we must see, and that is the fight between the two best light heavyweights in the world today. And I have been calling for that fight for a couple of years, right? Like, I've been saying for a while now, it's the light heavyweight championship is going to come down to Yuri Prohaska and Magomed Ankalaev. And here we are, UFC 282, Yuri defending the belt against Glover. Once he beats Glover, he'll take on the winner of Jan Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev, and I think the winner will be Magomed Ankalaev. And then we do Yuri Magomed in the new year for the light heavyweight championship. And holy shit. I don't know if... I feel like this is one of those fights where I'm really hyped about it, but no one else really gives a shit, and they probably won't sell a bunch of pay-per-views, But Magomed and Yuri is the fight. It is the fight. And, get hyped. If you're not hyped already, get hyped, because that one is going to be massive. UFC 282... Hell yeah.
All the next ones are going to be massive.
About that.
280 is massive. 281 is like sick. 282 is going to be
What's
ridiculous.
the main event at 281?
It's Israel Adesanya against Alex Pereira, man.
Oh, yeah.
The meetup.
Jeez.
That is crazy. You've got Carlos Esparza against Weili Zhang. You have Dustin Poirier against Michael Chandler. That's ridiculous. You have Dan Hooker against Claudio Puelles. You have Brad Riddle against Renato Moicano. You know, this is a fight of fireworks. Then on the prelims, unless things get changed, you still have Andre Petrosky against Wellington Thurman. That's not bad.
Oh,
you have
yeah.
Dominic Reyes fighting again against Ryan Spann. That'll be interesting.
Oh.
Molly McCann, your Molly is there with versus Aaron Blanchfield.
Oh,
That's
the
for the
meatball.
preliminaries.
Meatball Molly.
Meatball is there. Meatball
Oh.
Molly is on the prelims. You know, and look, anything can happen, you know, where she ends up on the main card. But so far, man, 280 and 281 are like insane.
And 282.
So you know
the last 3
And
UFC
282.
pay-per-views to close out the year looking fantastic, as this has been
That's
a
the way it should
great
be.
year of UFC pay-per-views. Every UFC pay-per-view this year has been great.
But you know
Right?
what? Like not only to take away from the pay-per-views, but like our fight nights have been like unbelievable. I mean, even the Dana White Contender Series. Listen, Dave, we've saw some great fight nights where we're like, there's nothing spectacular about this card. But when you look at it from an MMA point of view, just like the combat or the skills that were put in some
good
of these
fights,
fight nights
but not
were
hype.
just good.
Yeah,
There wasn't
not a
like
lot of
hype,
hype.
but when you turn around, like they were good fights. Like they basically got people to stay and watch, and that's the beauty with the UFC, man. Even the card that's coming up on Saturday is not going to be like a great card for like hardcore MMA guys. But if you're just coming in to watch like this card, there's going to be some pretty impressive people there, man. Like if you're going to sit down and watch Askarov fight for the first time, you're going to be like, holy shit, this is going to be interesting. Look, it's. The UFC has
Come on,
pumped out
AJ.
amazing
Nobody
fights.
that's watching the fights on Saturday. Okay, you're the hardcore of the hardcore if you're watching this UFC Vegas 62 card with
100%.
Alexa Grasso
I'm
and
watching it for the prelims. But I'm just
Grasso
saying
and
if-
Viviane Araujo in the main event. Like, no one watching this card, it'll be the first time they see Askar Askarov fight. Like, if you're watching this card, you've seen Askar Askarov fight. You know who he is, because if you're watching
it's
this
gonna-
card, you're really into the UFC. You're really into MMA. You're a diehard. You're watching every single weekend. You're like us, right? Watching every weekend because we love it. But you
look,
know
it's
what I'm
gonna
saying?
be-
Like, this
it's-
one is for the really hardcore fans. Next weekend is for
Yes.
the kind of more mainstream people that watch the big events.
But it's also for like turning the tube type of people that are looking for
Turning the
sports.
tube.
It's turning the tube, man.
Turn
And
the
thing
tube,
is
baby.
that- but the
Turn
thing
that
is
tube.
that like you've got free fights. You know, you've got like these fights on BT Sports, on all different channels, on RDS here in Quebec as well. Like you'll have people that are going to be tuning in and be like, oh, it's MMA. Who is it? It's like, who are these guys? What I'm trying to say is that if they fall on to any of these guys, it's going to be exciting where you're going to stay and watch. You know, you're right. MMA hardcore fans will be there watching this. But because it's free and because it's like not the greatest card for us as MMA fans, for regular like sports watchers who are just turning and flipping and watching this card, they'll be impressed. There's nobody on this card that's shit, really. They're just not big names. But none of these guys, all the way from Misha fight to like the Grasso fight, they're all exciting fighters, man. It's a decent card to put out for free.
Look,
That's all I'm saying.
Saturday night, UFC or Yankees Guardians Game 3. I'll tell you what I'm going to be watching.
I'll be watching UFC, man.
I'll be watching both, but I'll be paying attention to the Yankees Guardians. Although I'll probably have money on the UFC, so I'll try to pay attention to both. But that Yankees series is really what I'm all about.
Is all over
Luckily-
with the Blue Jays, but
Yeah, that's a shame. Blue Jays eliminated, Rays eliminated. Let's get rid of the Houston Astros, and we can all have a Merry Christmas.
well, Freddie ain't gonna be happy, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice for the Astros to lose. Did they lose today? No. Shit. Fucking Astros, man. You can't get rid of these
The
bastards.
best non-cheating team
Yeah, right. Fucking
in
cheating.
MLB, man.
Astros beat the Mariners 4-2 today. They're up 2-0 in the series. Shit. Goddamn Astros. I saw them walk off the Mariners the other day. Astros are down 2 runs. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, 2 men on. 3-run homer, Astros win. It was like, what the fuck, man? You can't get rid of these bastards. It was like 7-5. They hit a 3-run homer in the bottom of the ninth with 2 down to win the game. One swing of the bat, they win 8-7. I was watching the game. I couldn't believe it. And then they win again today. The Astros are damn good. The Dodgers are damn good. Although the Padres did take one from the Dodgers, which is nice to see. I just don't want the Yankees to have to play the Astros in the ALCS because that's just a scary proposition.
I think that's going to be amazing, man.
Yankees and Guardians tonight, they were supposed to play tonight. And if they were playing tonight, you would not have my undivided attention, AJ. Let me tell you. If the Yankees were playing tonight, I would not be paying attention to anything we're doing.
It's okay. You never do anyway.
I'm kind of happy that the game got postponed due to rain. They're going to play tomorrow. I believe it is 1 o'clock. 107,
It might get rained out again, man, because there's heavy rain for tomorrow.
Well, the tentative first pitch is 107 tomorrow afternoon. Yankees Guardians. Yankees took game 1 very nicely. Beautiful pitching performance from Garrett Cole. We need to see more victories for the Yankees. 10 more wins, and the Yankees win the World Series. Let's go Yankees. Let's go Yankees. But yeah, Saturday night, I'm watching the Yankee game. I'm not watching UFC. I mean, I will watch the UFC too, but the big screen is going to get the baseball treatment, and the small screen is going to get UFC. But next Saturday is UFC 280. We're going to do a special afternoon watch-along. AJ is going to come over in the afternoon. We're going to watch a little UFC action. Charles Dubrox, Oliveira, Islam Makhachev. AJ, we're a week away. Next week, you'll give me your official pick. Just give me a name, Islam or Charles, who's winning. I've got Islam. Do you agree?
Look, that's going to be one of the toughest, man. Like,
I just wanted a name.
Of the toughest.
I just wanted a name, AJ.
But
Islam or Charles.
I'm not going to back out from what we said the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
We said by the end of this year,
yes,
we're going to see Islam as champion, and I'm sticking with that. I think Islam has the tools to beat Charles at this
Fights
point.
in Abu Dhabi next week. You can never go wrong with backing Islam in Abu Dhabi, if you know what I mean.
No, absolutely. He's going there for a reason. He's going there for a reason. That's how confident
also,
they are.
It's their main religion, is what I'm trying to say. Abu Dhabi
Don't mess with
is a Muslim country. If you're backing Islam in Abu Dhabi, the guy's name is Islam. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Perfect, man. No, listen, man. I think it's a perfect way for Islam to win.
Yeah, right.
You know, in Abu Dhabi, it's like the guys. Listen, you have Khabib there. You're gonna have all of them. It's just like, how much better can you get? I mean, these guys are like incredible. And what's even crazier is you should see the guys that they have behind Islam and all the rest that are coming up. It's even more insane. I mean, you know, even have Hasbullah ready to fight. This is how good that team is. Hasbullah, 3'4". All
right.
Listen,
I'll be back tomorrow night.
Just a quick shout out. Oh, I wanted to give a quick shout out.
Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern time, right after SmackDown with Johnny North. We're going to talk some professional wrestling. I want to give a shout out to
who?
Jeremy
I
Prophet.
To give a good shout out. Oh, Jeremy, man, yes.
Jeremy Prophet, and of course, Jessica Black getting their first AEW Dark match last night. So big shout out to friends of the show.
Look at that.
There they are in the AEW ring, AEW Dark. That's Jeremy Prophet and Jessica Black. And there's our buddy Johnny North congratulating them. First of many AEW matches last night in Toronto. There he is, our boy Jeremy Prophet, making us proud. Montreal's own Jeremy Prophet, our good buddy. He is training with AEW and hopefully gets a full-time contract. Sign him, Tony Khan. Sign this man. Yep. Sign this woman. Sign these people. They are great Montreal wrestling products, and
get Johnny North in there, man.
To see them, yes.
I want to see Johnny North fight in AEW. He's fought Jeremy Prophet. They listen. There's so much great talent here in Montreal, and it's great to see Jeremy, man. He's there. I hope things work out, but what a big step, man. That was huge, and he looks great. Look at this guy, man. He's in top shape.
He is fantastic. He's a great guy. And he's a big MMA fan as well. Always love getting his picks every week. Our buddy Jeremy Prophet, and now he's big time in AEW.
And Jessica Black too, man. She's been awesome on our show.
She's a big
man.
MMA fan too.
Picks.
Yeah, friend of the show. Yeah, they're both big MMA fans. So I want to shout them out because I was so happy to see them in an AEW ring performing in front of that crowd.
Crazy, man.
It's so cool. I've known Jeremy for a very long time. For a very long time.
Well, we had him not too long ago. We had him a couple of, about 2 years ago that he was on one of our shows, and maybe you could bring that back, one of our Turn Back Time, shows.
I started Wrestling Uncensored with Jeremy.
Yep.
Wrestling Uncensored was a me and Jeremy show. As a matter of fact, before I ever had Ringside Report MMA or any kind of wrestling content on real radio, Jeremy and I did a pro wrestling talk show on Dawson College Radio when we were at Dawson. So in school, before radio, before YouTube, before any of this, before the Ringside Report Network, Jeremy and I were talking wrestling on Dawson College Radio. So that's how long Jeremy and I go back. So for a former co-host and a good friend to see him in AEW is super awesome, man. It's great. So happy for him and Jessica to get that spot, and it's
crazy,
do
man.
us proud. It's great. It's fantastic.
I was back in the days. I was on CFLI, man. Back in the Concordia days, man. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not.
But I was spinning records back in the days, man.
And they were literal vinyl records because you are that old, and you weren't being ironic. That was the best technology available at the time.
It was awesome, man.
And,
but all to say is, man, look at where Jeremy
we had
is
CDs.
now, man.
I had CDs, so I'm
no,
also
I didn't
old.
have CDs. I had
when I was at Dawson Radio, we had CDs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing beats vinyl, dude. It's so cool, man. It's just
I never got into vinyl. I never had vinyl records. I don't have a vinyl collection. I have enough collections. I don't want a record collection, believe me. I have enough collections. They're closing in on me in this very room. So
it's time to revamp that studio, man. There's going to be no place.
I've got a couple plans. I just got a bunch of these Honda Civics. I can't even talk about it. It's too much. It's all too much. All right. I'll be back here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time with Johnny North. We'll talk some professional wrestling. We'll do the damn thing. And that's it. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you. Shout out to all the members. I'm seeing Angelo Contagonis, Silent by Deadly. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in live here tonight. Brooklyn Lizard.
And waiting.
CSL Lorne. Yeah, thank you for waiting tonight throughout our technical difficulties. But we got the show on, and I think, it was worth the wait, right? It was worth the wait. I think AJ and I gave you some quality entertainment. Where else are you going to hear about slap fighting and my feelings about the Prime Minister? Nowhere else. No other show will give you Dave's feelings about the Canadian Prime Minister. That's a fact. And no other show will tell you about the karate being outlawed in Quebec. No one else is talking about that.
Or Metaverse. Our buddy Zuck. You
never know what you're going to get here. It's a mixed bag of fun. The Ringside Report Network.
Balls? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Was that about balls?
Where are you going to find that?
AJ getting hit in the head?
Tennis ball in the eye, man? That's true. Where do you hear that? Just thinking about it makes me squirm again, man.
Only here. Okay. I'll be back 10 p.m. Eastern with Johnny North tomorrow night, right after SmackDown here on the Ringside Report Network.
Go! Come on, Dave.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.